Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Juan. I'm a yarn addict, hence the name Juan the Yarn Addict, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by to check out my video today. This is a yarn and crochet channel where we talk about all things yarn and all things crochet, so if that interests you, please sit back and watch this video because today, my friends, I offer you week 3 of our 5-week Spring Crochet Along for what I am calling the Spring Things Throw. So this is my project. This is where I'm at now. I've completed week 2, and my project measures 20 inches wide by 24 inches long, and we have a total of 8 stitches on here, minus the center that I created for our project, but it's laying out beautifully. I'm giving stitch counts for every row from the beginning all the way to the end of week 2, and I'm going to continue doing that. Just for those of you guys who like to count the stitches, to put your minds at ease, we will have all the stitch counts. I will also make sure that those stitch counts are in the show notes for you guys to reference in case you get lost or whatever the case may be. So far, I've been enjoying this crochet along. I've been enjoying this so much that I decided to pick up another cake and do a second one. So here is the second one. And for this one here, I am using Caron Cinnamon Swirl Cakes. This is one of the cakes that I'm using, and let's see, it is called Cookie Cream Swirl. And this one here is a 4-weight yarn. It's 100% acrylic. It is 8 ounces, 227 grams, 407 yards, and 372 meters. And they suggest a 5mm crochet hook for this. So for this one, I decided to follow the recommendations. So I am using a 5mm crochet hook for this one. I pulled out my dots hook. So yeah, it turned out really nice. It's super nice. So it's not as lacy and loose as my first one, but that's okay. I hooked up for this one. So for the first one here, I am using Caron Cotton Cakes in the colorway Calico Flowers. This is a medium 4-weight yarn. It is 8.8 ounces, 250 grams. It is a 60-40 blend of 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, and they do recommend a 5mm crochet hook. I hooked up, so I went up to a 5.5mm crochet hook. So again, I pulled out my dots hook for this. So just to recap, for this project here, the first one, I am still on my first cake. Now I have just a little ball left. I wound up what was left. So for the size here, great yardage for the yarn. So great. I'm super happy with how things are going in terms of the yarn I'm using. So again, this goes a long way for this project so far. We're starting week 3, and obviously I will be going into my second cake. So that is great. For the Caron Cinnamon Swirl Cakes, I used a complete cake for weeks 1 and 2. So this is a brand new cake I'm going to start week 3 with. And again, this was literally an entire cake. So this is what the back looks like. It's super nice. And I really like the stitch definition using the acrylic. It's super nice. I like the stitch definition with the Caron Cotton Cakes as well, but what I like most about this particular one is it's loose. You know, it's flowy, it gives me spring vibes, it's a lightweight throw, and I'm super excited that we are making this. Okay, so we're going to continue spinning the wheel for the stitches with the understanding that I get to veto one of the stitches that, you know, may not work. So you know, we're going to spin. If I like what we get, if I feel like it's going to flow correctly for our project, we're going to ride with it. But if we get a stitch that does not flow, I'm going to veto it, and I'm going to put in Juan's choice, and I will use the stitch that I think makes sense for the stitches we came up with. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to place you guys on a brief pause. I'm going to go get the wheel, and we will spin for our stitches. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay friends, so I am back with the wheel, and before we go any further, I want to tell you that I changed some of the stitches on the wheel just to keep it interesting. I didn't want us to have like a whole repetition of all the same stitches for 5 weeks. So there are other stitches that we could utilize in our project that could still be just as fun. So I went ahead and changed out some of the extended stitches. And so depending on the video that you're watching, again, I am a left-handed crocheter, so if you're watching the right-handed tutorial, the words that you're seeing behind me and on the wheel are backwards, so pay that no mind. I'm just going to verbalize everything. So let's go over the wheel and I will tell you what stitches are on this wheel, and then we'll spin for the 4 and go forward from there. Okay, so we're going to start off with Juan's Choice. It's the best one of the wheel, I'm just saying. After that, we have the double crochet. After the double crochet, we have the double V stitch. After that, we have the granny stitch. After that, we do have an extended single. Now, I left that one on there because I took off the single crochet. So the extended single has a heightened look to it where it's still a single crochet, but it's almost as tall as a double. I think for a spring throw, that's nice. So I kept that on there. Next, we have the half double crochet. After the half double, we have the shell stitch. After the shell, we have the double crochet. And I just want to say I do have this on here twice because it is one of the most fundamental stitches of any project, so why not? It's double the trouble, double the fun, so 2 times on the wheel. After the double crochet, we have the moss stitch. After the moss stitch, we have twins in a stitch. So that's just 2 stitches in the 1 stitch, skip 1 or whatever the case may be. But however that combination looks, it's going to be 2 stitches in 1 stitch. Okay. After that, we have the half double cross. After that, we have the windows. So the windows, it could be of any size. So we got windows last week. And naturally, I would want to go ahead and do double crochet, skip 1, chain 1 and all, but I went ahead and did half double crochet, so the windows were a little smaller to keep it interesting. So it could be any size window. So windows. And then after that, we have a double cross. So it's double crochet, crossing over. After that, we have the V stitch. Again, it could be a half double V stitch, it could be a double crochet V stitch, even a treble V stitch. Who knows? It depends on what the other stitches look like. And then here we are back at Juan's Choice. So without further ado, let's go ahead and spin for our stitches. Okay, friends, so let's get started. Okay, so we have the double crochet. Perfect. That's been pretty consistent throughout this whole thing so far, so that's great. Okay, I noted that on the paper. All right, let's go ahead and spin for our second stitch. The moss stitch. Okay, let's go ahead and write that one down. Moss. I'm excited about that one, actually. That's fun. Okay, let's go ahead and spin for the third stitch. Double. Well, we already have double, so we're going to spin again for another stitch. The V stitch. Okay, I'm excited about that one. It's turning out nice. Okay, the V stitch. Okay. And then last but not least, let's go ahead and spin for this last stitch. Twins in a stitch. Okay. So we got some good stitches this week. Twins. All right, so we have the double crochet, we have the moss stitch, we have the V stitch, and then we have twins in a stitch. Okay, twins in a stitch. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take us over to the tutorial table next door there, and we'll get started. All right, I'll see you in just a second. Okay, friends, so before we begin, Round 23 was a total of 88 stitches on the short side and 94 stitches on the long side. So for week 3, we're going to begin with the moss stitch. So we will only be increasing by 2 stitches, which means each corner will be a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Instead of the 2 stitches, the 2 chains, and the 2 stitches, it's just going to be 1 stitch, 2 chains, and 1 stitch. Okay, so to begin, what we need to do is create a slip knot on our hook. However you do this is absolutely fine. This is how I do it. And from here, what we want to do is we want to go into the corner, draw up a loop. We'll have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through both of those loops, just like that. That is a standing single crochet, and that's the first stitch of our round. From here, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to skip over that very first stitch. Then we're going to insert our hook into the second stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, and go through both loops just like that. Chain 1, skip 1, go into the next stitch with a single crochet. And just continue this all the way down. This is the moss stitch. So it's single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1. So continue doing this all the way down, and I will meet you at the very first corner. Okay friends, so here we are at the end of the first side, and this is what we're looking like. So I have 2 stitches left, chain 1. Now naturally I would go into that last stitch, but because this is the moss stitch and you have to go in the round every other one, we're going to jump over these 2 stitches and go straight into the corner with a single crochet. And from here we're going to chain 2, and we're going to swivel our work around, and we're going to go back into that corner with a single crochet, and we will continue with the chain 1 and the skip 1 and go into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, go into the next stitch, and then just continue on with the moss stitch, just like this. So continue doing that, and I will see you at the next corner. Okay, so here we are at the next corner, and just like the last one, I have a single crochet and a chain 1 with 2 stitches remaining. So instead of going into the last stitch, we're going to go into the corner, just like that, and we're going to chain 2, swivel our work around, and continue doing what we just did the last 2 times. We're going to go into the corner with a single crochet, chain 1, and skip that first stitch and go into the second stitch with a single crochet, chain 1, and just continue on. Okay, so continue doing this in the same fashion. When you get to the end of the row here, you're going to have 2 stitches left. You're going to hop over and go right into the corner and do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, continue on, okay? So I will see you at the end of this round. Okay friends, so here I am at the end of round number 24. I have 2 stitches remaining on the end here, and so like I did the other times, I'm going to make sure I have my chain there, and I'm going to go right into the chain space with a single crochet. I'm going to chain 2, and then I am going to attach to the very first stitch of the round. I'm going to insert my hook right into the top of that stitch. I'm going to drop a loop and move the tail out of the way there. There we go. And slip to close. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the chain space, drop a loop and slip, chain 1, and then go into the stitch with a single crochet. And I'm going to continue doing the moss stitch, just like this, going in between the stitches with a single crochet. So here are the 2 stitches. I'm going to go in there, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through both. Chain, just like that. So continue doing this, and I will see you at the first corner for round number 25. Okay friends, so here we are at the first corner. So we're at the chain space here where we skipped over those 2 stitches. So we're going to go into, well, first we have to chain, right? And then we're going to go into this space here with a single crochet. We're going to chain, and then we're going to go into the corner here with a single crochet. We're going to chain 2, and then let's swivel around here and go back into that corner with a single crochet, just like that. Chain over the stitch and go in between with a single crochet, just like this. Okay, so just for good measure, I'm going to meet you at the next corner, but in the meantime, continue doing the moss stitch, single crochet, single crochet, chain 1, and go into the next open space, single crochet and chain 1. Okay, so continue this, and I will see you at the next corner. Okay friends, so here I am at the next corner. Like last time, we're looking at the chain space above the 2 stitches. I have a single crochet and a chain. I'm going to go into that space with a single crochet. I'm going to chain 1 and go right into the corner space right here. We're going to do a single crochet, chain 2. We're going to swivel our work around and go into the corner again with a single crochet, chain 1, and skip over the stitch and go in between with a single crochet, chain 1 and go in to the next space, and just continue doing this. Okay, so I will actually see you at the end of round number 25. Just continue doing the moss stitch, and don't forget the corners are 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. Okay, so continue doing this, and I will see you at the end of round number 25. Okay friends, so I'm nearing the end of round number 25. I have a single crochet here right before the corner. So I'm going to chain 1 to go over that stitch right there. I'm going to go into the corner here with a single crochet, chain 2, swing this around and go back in with a single crochet. And from here we're going to chain 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert our hook into the first stitch of the round, draw up a loop, and slip to close, just like that. Now to start round number 26, we're going to go ahead and go in between these 2 stitches, insert our hook, draw up a loop, slip, chain 1, and then go back into that space with a single crochet, just like that. We're going to chain 1 and go right in between the 2 stitches, draw up a loop and do a single crochet, chain 1, and continue on with our moss stitch, just like this. Okay, so that is how we start the round. So for round number 26, we're going to continue on with the moss stitch. Don't forget, in the corners it's going to be single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Okay, so continue on with the moss stitch for round number 26, and I'll see you at the end of the round. Okay friends, so I am nearing the end of round number 26, and so like previous rounds, we're going to chain 1 and go into the corner, single crochet, chain 2, swivel our work around, go back into the corner with a single crochet, chain 1 over that single crochet right there, go into that space, single crochet, chain 1, and then go into the first stitch of the round, draw up a loop, and slip, just like that. Go into the next chain space, draw up a loop, slip, and chain. And then to go into the next round, like before, you're going to go right into that space to do a single crochet. And each time we do another round, our stitch moves over gradually, just like that. Okay, so this is going to be round number 27. Continue doing the moss stitch, doing single crochet, chain 1 single crochets. Now the stitch counts for all the moss stitch rounds will be in the description box, so if you need to check that, by all means, but if all of your stitches are fitting into place, there really is no need to count these, because at this point you'll know if something is wrong, but everything literally fits like a puzzle piece, just like this. Okay, so continue on doing the moss stitch for round number 27, and I will meet you at the end of the round right here. Okay. Okay, friends, so I am nearing the end of round number 27, and I'm going to chain over this stitch here. I'm going to do a single crochet into this space, and like the previous rounds, I'm going to chain 1 over this stitch here. I'm going to insert my hook into the very first stitch of the round, draw up a loop, and slip to close that. And this is actually the end of the moss stitch, so only 4 rounds. So 24, 25, 26, and 27 are all moss stitch rounds, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So from here we're going to chain 2, and we're going to grab scissors and we're going to cut a tail. We're going to pull the hook away from our work. We're going to pinch and pull this down to our work, just like this. And that will conclude round number 27. And so I'm going to go ahead and sew in my ends, and I will be right back. Okay, friends, so the ends have been sewn in, and now we are going to begin round number 28. Now, round number 28 is going to be double crochets. So to begin, what we need to do is create a slip knot on our hook. However you do that is absolutely fine, so long as the end result is this. So to begin, we're going to go into any corner. We're going to go into the corner and do a standing single crochet. So you're going to insert your hook, draw up a loop, yarn over. You'll have 2 loops there. Go through both loops just like that. Chain 2. That is your first double crochet. And so we're going to go back into that corner and do a double crochet. And that's going to be 1/2 of the corner. So each corner is going to be 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay? And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go into every stitch with a double crochet and every chain space with a double crochet. Just like that. Every stitch and every chain space. So if you look at the stitch, you'll see underneath here, there's that little triangle there. That's where you want to place your hook for the stitch. So yarn over, go into that triangle right here on the side, drop a loop, do your double crochet, and then on the other side of the stitch, yarn over. You see there's a space there. If you open it up, you'll see a space, and then you'll see the triangle. So in here is where you would go in between the stitches and then into the stitch right here. Okay? So you're going to insert your hook right here, do your double crochet, and then into the stitch right there. Okay? So every stitch of the round will receive a double crochet, just like this. And just for good measure, I'm going to meet you at the very first corner right there, right here, okay? So I'll be back in just 1 second. I'm going to get double crochets in every stitch and in every chain space, and I will meet you at the corner. Okay, friends, so I'm here at the first corner, and in the chain space, we're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochets. And then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to swing around and go back into the corner with 2 double crochets. Oops. just like that. Okay, and so we're going to continue on doing double crochets in every stitch and in every space. So we're going to go ahead and go into that stitch with a double crochet, go into the space, and then into the stitch. So we're going to continue doing this for the remainder of the round. Just remember, each corner gets 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then you're going to go into every stitch and in every chain space of the round. So continue with this, and I will see you at the end of round number 28. Okay, friends, so I am rounding out the end of round number 28, which is double crochets. And so what I have left are the double crochet for the stitch right here, and then 2 double crochets for the corner, just like that. And then I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to swing this around here, and I'm going to connect to the top chain. So the first stitch of the round was a standing single crochet and then 2 chains. So we're going to go into that top chain. We're going to draw up a loop and slip to close, just like that. Okay, and so from here we're going to go ahead and chain 3, and that is the first stitch of the next round. And let's just go over some counts very quickly. So the side that I just finished on was the long side, as you can see here. On the long side, you should have a total of 104 double crochets. And then on the short side here, you should have a total of 98 stitches going into every stitch and every chain space, just like that. Okay, so for this next round here, it's going to be a round of double crochets, just like the last one. Let's go ahead and get this sorted here. There we go. Okay, so from here to chain 2, actually let me fix that. That's a chain 1, chain 2. Okay, perfect. So that is the first stitch of the round. And then from here we're going to go, actually it's a chain 3. Chain 3, first stitch. Okay. Next we're going to go into this next stitch with a double crochet. And we're going to continue doing double crochets on top of every stitch from the previous round, just like this. In the corners, you're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, just like that. And for round number 29, for the short side, you're going to need to have a total of 102 stitches, and then on the long side you're going to need 108. This will all be in the description box if you need it. Okay, so for now, every stitch double crochet, just like this. Every stitch, and then in the corners it's going to be just like the last round here. It's going to be 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I will meet you at the end of round number 29. Hey friends, so I just wanted to pop on here very quickly before I finish the round to just give you a quick reminder that when you're coming around the corner and you're doing your 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, to not forget to give the very first stitch of the side and upstairs neighbor. So it's very easy to forget about this first stitch. So you're going to have to go into that triangle spot there with a double crochet. So just remember, when you're giving every stitch an upstairs neighbor, to not forget about this first stitch. And if you can't get into the head of the stitch, don't worry, I would suggest maybe going back into the chain space for another stitch to just give that stitch an upstairs neighbor. Okay, so just to be sure here, we go back in, give that stitch an upstairs neighbor just like that. Okay, so just wanted to give you a little reminder there to not forget to do that. And all right, so we can carry on for the rest of the round here. Okay, friends, so I am wrapping up round number 29. So we're going to go into the chain space with 2 double crochets. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to swing around, and we're going to go back into the chain space there with 2 double crochets. Just like that. So the chains here were the first stitch of the round. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into that top chain, just like that, draw up a loop, and slip to close, just like that. Let's just give it a chain, and let's just do a very quick recap. So we are on the short side here. Let's come down here. So on the short side here, for the double crochets for round number 29, you're going to need 102 double crochets across the top. And then on the side, over here, the project's getting kind of big. On the side here, you're going to need 108 double crochets. Okay, again, all this will be in the description box should you decide to count your stitches. Okay, so the next stitch for week 3 is the double V stitch. Actually, it's the V stitch, double crochet V. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in the corner. Now, the easiest way would be to clip off and join back in the corner, which I think that's what we're going to do. It's a cleaner look, so we're just going to chain 2, cut a tail, pull the hook away from our work, and scrunch these 2 chains down, just like that. Okay? And from here, we're just going to sew in our ends, which I will do off camera very quickly. I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so I've sewn in the ends here, and to start round number 30, we're going to do the V stitch. So we're going to begin in a corner that we're not just coming out of. So I'm going to hop over here to the next corner. And just to confirm, here's the center. I'm actually going to go to this corner right here. Okay? So our throw is growing, friends. Okay. So to begin, what we need to do is create a slip knot on our hook. So however you do this is fine. This is how I do it. Just like that. The next thing we need to do is we're going to go into the corner and draw up a loop. So we have 2 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and go through both of those loops, just like that. From here, we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to go back into the corner with a double crochet. That is half of our corner. So all the corners are going to be 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay? So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a V stitch. So we're going to skip the first stitch. We're going to go into the second one with a double crochet, chain 1, and then a double crochet in that same stitch, just like that. That is a V stitch. And from here, we're going to skip 2 stitches and go into the third one with a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet right into that same stitch. And as you can see, we've created another V stitch. So we're going to continue doing this all the way down the side. We're going to skip 2 stitches, go into the third one with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Do it one more time. So skip, skip. We're going to go into this stitch right here with a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Those are our V-stitches. Okay, so continue with that, and I will see you at the end of the first side down here. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so I am at the very first corner, and I have 2 stitches remaining. So from here, we're going to go right into the corner and do 2 double crochets. Let me start that over. Just like that. We're going to chain 2. We're going to swivel our work around. We're going to go back into that corner with 2 double crochets. Oops. Just like that. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to skip the first stitch and go into the second one. And we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Just like that. And then we're going to skip 2, go into the third one with a V-stitch, just like this. Okay, so continue doing the V-stitches, and just for good measure, I'm going to meet you guys at the next corner right here. Okay, so continue on with the V-stitches, and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so I'm at the next corner, and just to show you where I'm at, I'm on the short side right here. Okay, so in this particular corner, I just have 1 stitch left. In either case, we're going to do the same thing and go right into the corner, whether you have 1 stitch left or 2, because going into that stitch will throw off the pattern. So once you can't skip 2 anymore and go into the 3rd stitch, you're finished. So you're just going to go right into the corner with 2 double crochets, chain 2. You're going to swivel around and go back into the corner here with 2 double crochets, just like that. And as always, you're going to skip the first one, go into the second stitch with a V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and that'll be for your first one. And then every one after that, you're skipping 2 and going into that 3rd stitch. Chain 1, double crochet. And that's what it's going to look like. Okay? So continue with this, and I will see you at the end of round number 30. Okay, friends, so I am at the next corner, and I have 2 stitches remaining, which indicates to me that I am on the long side. So on the long side, when you're doing V-stitches, you should have 2 stitches remaining. So from here, you're going to jump right into the corner with 2 double crochets. You're going to chain 2, and you're going to swivel your work around. You're going to go back into that chain with 2 double crochets, just like that. And as always, skip the first stitch, go into the second one, and do your V-stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, and go back in with another double crochet, just like that. And from here, you're going to skip 2 stitches and go into the 3rd one. So that's the second one. So skip, skip, and you're going to go into the 3rd one, which is right here. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Okay. Skip, skip, go into the 3rd one, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So continue doing this, and I will see you at the end of the round. Okay, Okay friends, so I'm nearing the end of round 30. I did my last V-stitch. I have one stitch remaining on the side there, which is fine. So from here we're going to jump right into the corner and do 2 double crochets. After the 2 double crochets, we're going to go ahead and chain 2. We're going to swivel our work, and we're going to connect to the top chain of this particular stitch here. That was a standing single with 2 chains. So we're going to go into that top chain, drop a loop, and slip to close. And from here we're going to chain 3, which will be considered a double crochet. And in the next stitch we're going to do a double crochet, just like that. We're going to copy those stitches just like that. From here we're going to go right into the middle of the V-stitch and do another V-stitch. So it's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And we're going to continue going into the middle of the V-stitches and do another V-stitch right above it. An upstairs neighbor for the V-stitches, just like that. Okay, so continue doing V-stitches on top of V-stitches. We're giving all the V-stitches upstairs neighbors, just like that. Okay, so continue with this. If I'm going too fast, feel free to slow me down. Hit the gear button and you can slow me down, but it's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, so continue doing this and I will see you at the very first corner. Okay friends, so I'm at the first corner, and what we want to do is we want to give these 2 stitches upstairs neighbors. It's not a V-stitch. We're just going to go into those 2 stitches and do double crochets in each one of those stitches, and then we're going to go into the corner and do 2 double crochets, chain 2. We're going to swivel our work around and then go into that corner with 2 double crochets, just like that. And then from here we're going to give these 2 stitches upstairs neighbors, so double crochet in each one of those. And then from here we're going to give that V-stitch an upstairs neighbor of a V-stitch. So it's a double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet. And then we're just going to carry on business as usual, giving each V-stitch another V-stitch upstairs, just like that. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Let me go a little slower. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So you're going to do that to every stitch of the round and in the corners. Just to recap, you're going to go into the 2 stitches before the corner and just go double crochet, and then in the corner it's going to be 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then coming out of the corner it's going to be 2 standalone double crochets, and then you're going to continue giving all the V-stitches upstairs neighbors V-stitches. Okay, so continue with that, and I shall see you at the end of round number 31. Okay friends, so I am almost finished round 31. We just have this corner to go. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into the corner with 2 double crochets. We're going to chain 2. We're going to swivel our work around, and then we're going to go back into this corner here with 2 double crochets, just like that. And from here we're going to go into the top chain. So there was 3 chains there. We're going to go into that top one. We're going to insert our hook, drop a loop, and slip to close. And what we're going to do here is we're going to chain 2. We're going to cut a tail off. We're going to pull our work away from the hook. Pull the hook away from the work and pinch and pull everything down to the work, just like that. Okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to reset. Sew in our ends, and then I'm going to meet you in another corner. So I will be right back. Okay, friends, so let's just recap here. We just finished round number 31. I'm on the short side here, so let's come down here. We have 2 rounds of the V-stitch, and this top row here, which is round 31, on the short side you should have 110 total stitches, and that includes the chain spaces. So the 2 doubles and the chains all count. Okay, 110. And then if you turn your work to the long way, which is right here, the long way, if you come down, okay, so on the long side you should have a total of 116 stitches. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and come to the short side, and we're going to work in this corner here. Just like that, okay? And what we're going to do is just 1 round of double crochets, okay? The reason for that is because the next stitch is twins in a stitch, and the stitch multiple just doesn't run well with 3s. So you can't do twins if there's 3s there. So we now have to even the playing field. So to do this, we need to create a slip knot on our hook, just like that. And we're going to go into the corner here and create a standing single crochet. So we're going to go into the corner, draw up a loop. There's 2 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and go through both loops, just like that. We're going to chain 2, and that will count as a double crochet. We're going to go back into the corner and do another double crochet. Whoops. So there's 2 double crochets. And then now we're going to give every single stitch an upstairs neighbor, including this first one here. So you can kind of see where you can insert your hook right there. So yarn over, go in, do your double crochet, and continue on doing the upstairs neighbor double crochet for every stitch. Now once we get to the V stitches, we're here. So we're going to give this stitch an upstairs neighbor, double crochet. We're going to go into the chain space of the V stitch. That does count as a stitch. So double crochet in the V, and then on the other side of the V, right here. So every V stitch gets 3 double crochets. So the beginning of the V, in the middle of the V, and at the end of the V. Okay, so that's what it should look like. So now that we're going to create this round of double crochets, when we get to our 4th and final stitch of the week, twins in a stitch, we can actually do that with a flat base instead of working out of the V's. It just wouldn't compute correctly. So continue doing 1 single crochet for every stitch of the round. Remember, each V stitch gets 3 stitches. So 1 in the beginning of the V, 1 in the middle of the V, and 1 at the end of the V. So continue doing this, and I will see you at the end of the first corner, okay? Okay, friends, so I'm at the first corner here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go right into that corner with 2 double crochets. So it's 2 double crochets, chain 2, swivel it around, and do 2 double crochets. Just like that. And then we're going to go into that first stitch right there. Give that stitch an upstairs neighbor, just like that. And then we're going to continue doing double crochets for every stitch of the round. And as I mentioned earlier, every V-stitch gets 3 stitches. One in the beginning, one in the middle, and one in the end. So that's what the corner looks like. Okay, so continue on with this and I'll see you at the end of the round. Okay friends, so we are rounding out the end of number 32. And so to finish this, we're going to go into the corner here with 2 double crochets. Just like that. We're going to chain 2. We're going to swivel around. And we're going to attach to the top chain. So that was a standing crochet, or a standing single with 2 chains. So we're going to go into that top chain, draw up a loop, and slip to close. And so that concludes round number 32. Just like that. Okay, so let's just do some quick stitch counts. So we're on the short side here. And so on the short side, we have double crochets across the top. That looks so nice. What we need here is 114 stitches going across from corner to corner. And then on the long side, let's swivel this around. It's getting pretty big. So on the long side here, as you can see across the top here, there needs to be 120 double crochets from corner to corner. Okay? So I'm going to place you guys on a brief pause and I will be right back and we will begin round number 33. 1 second. Okay friends, so for round number 33, we're going to be doing twins in a stitch. And for the short side here, we're going to need a total of 118 stitches. And for the long side here, we're going to need 124 stitches, okay? And we're going to start by working in this corner right here. So I'm going to pull us over diagonally to the corner, just like this. I'm going to insert my hook into that loop. Let me get my yarn together here. Okay. So from here, we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to go back into the stitch that we just came out of right here in between my thumbs. And we're going to go in there with a double crochet. And so that is 2 double crochets in the 1 stitch, twins in a stitch. So from here, we're going to skip the next stitch and go into the following stitch. So skip and then go in here with a double crochet. And then we're going to go back in there and give that stitch a twin. Just like that. We're going to skip the next stitch, go into the next one with a double crochet, and then go back in there with a twin. So we're going to continue doing this all the way down the side, and I will meet you at the very first corner. So skip, go into the next one, and do 2 double crochets, twins in a stitch. Okay, I'll see you at the next corner. Okay friends, I'm at the first corner, and I currently have 116 stitches. So to complete the first side here, I need to do 2 double crochets right here in the corner, and that will give me the 118 stitches that I need for the short side, just like that. Okay, so in the corner, 2 double crochets, chain 2, then we're going to swivel our work around, and we're going to go back into that corner with 2 double crochets, just like that. Okay. From here, we're going to skip the first stitch and we're going to go into this second stitch right here. So we're going to skip this, go in here, and we're going to go in there with twins in a stitch. 2 double crochets. Just like that. Skip the next stitch, go into the next stitch here with 2 double crochets. And this is literally what you're going to do for the entire round. Okay? 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, skip the first stitch, twins in a stitch, and then skip, twins in a stitch, all the way around. Okay? So I will see you at the end of round number 33. Okay, friends, I just wanted to pop in here very quickly. I'm still on round number 33. I'm just ending on the long side here, and I just wanted to bring this to your attention that when you're coming down the long side, you're going to end up with 2 stitches here. I currently have 120 stitches on the long side. I need 124 in total. So you're going to go into that last stitch with 2 double crochets, twins in a stitch, just like this. And then you're going to go into your corner and do the same thing. So 2 double crochets, chain 2, just like that. And then you're going to swivel around and do 2 double crochets back into that corner. I just wanted to share that with you because it's not the same as the short side. Oops. Let me get back in there. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. Okay, friends, I just wanted to pop on here very quickly. I am down the long side of round 33. So I just wanted to show you guys that at the end of the long side, you'll have 2 stitches remaining. Now I counted my stitches and I have 120 stitches on the long side. I need a total of 124 to finish the side here. So I need 2 more sets of twins, which by all accounts this looks correct. So you're going to skip this stitch, go into the last stitch of the side with twins in a stitch, just like this. And then you're going to go right into the corner here and do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets as normal, just like that. Chain 2, and then 2 double crochets into the corner, just like that. And so you will end up with 4 stitches in a row on the long side. And I'm just letting you know that is normal, that is okay. All right? Okay, continue on, and I will see you at the end of round number 33. Okay, friends, so I am finishing up round number 33. We're going to go into the chain space here and do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets right into the corner there. And then from here, we're going to go into the top chain. The chain 3 was considered a stitch. We're going to go into the top part of that, draw up a loop, slip to close, just like that. And that concludes round number 33. So for round number 34, we're going to do another round of twins in a stitch. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and chain 3, which will count as a double crochet. And then we're going to go back into the stitch we just came out of with a double crochet. That's going to be our first set of twins for the round for number 34. So from here, we're going to go into the next twin, but only on the side closest to your stitches. So you're going to skip this stitch here, go into the next stitch, and do twins. Just like that. So you're going to skip the stitch and go into the next stitch with a twin. Just like this. Skip this stitch, go into the next stitch with a set of twins. And that's what it's looking like. We're calling this staggered twins. We're staggering the twins, friends. So we're skipping that stitch. We're going to go into this next stitch and we're going to put twins right in there. There we go, just like that, staggered twins. So instead of going in between the stitches and giving these twins another set of twins, we're staggering them and only giving one twin a set of twins to play with. So we're just doing the things just like that. Okay, so continue this, only giving one twin a set of twins and not both. So skip this stitch, go into the next one here, 2 double crochets in that one stitch, just like this. Double crochet, double crochet. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. All right, and so I will see you at the end of the first corner. Okay, friends, so I'm at the end of the first side of round number 34. Just as a reminder, we're doing staggered twins in a stitch, and I really like how this is looking, staggered instead of going inside. It's looking nice. Okay, so we need 122 stitches for the short side, and for the long side, we need 128 stitches, okay? So to finish the corners here, you're going to end with twins in a stitch on the one side here. So what you're going to do from here is you're going to jump into the corner and do 2 double crochets. You're going to chain 2. You're going to swivel around. And then we're going to go back into that corner with 2 double crochets. Just like that. Okay? Now from here, we're going to go into that very first stitch, and we're going to go in there with twins. It's going to seem like a lot, but it's going to make sense in a second. And then from here, we're going to skip and go into the very first stitch of these twins. Okay? So let's go ahead and yarn over, skip this stitch, go into this stitch here, and it's going to fall in line with what we just did on the other side here. Skip, go into the first side here with twins and a stitch, 2 double crochets. We're going to skip the next stitch and go into the following stitch with 2 double crochets. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Just like that. Okay? So continue with this, and I will see you at the end of round number 34. Okay, friends, so I am finishing up round number 34. All I have left is this corner and the first stitch there. So what we're going to do is go into the corner with 2 double crochets. Chain 2, and then go back into that corner with 2 double crochets. Now from here, we're going to go into that very first stitch with twins in a stitch. Just like that, and then we're going to close out the round by going into that top chain. So the first stitch of the round was a chain 3. We're going to go into that top chain, draw up a loop, and slip to close. And that concludes round number 34. Now round 35 is the last round for the week. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something similar to this. This is where we finished last week. So what we did was we turned our work and we did front post double crochets, which gave us this ridge, okay? We're going to flip our work again, except instead of doing a front post double crochet, we're going to do a front post half double crochet, okay? So I thought about it. We could cut off and go here, to the corner. But just to keep things simple, we're going to just chain 2, and we're going to turn the work over just like this, and then we're going to just continue on instead of cutting our work off and starting from the corner. So from here, after you chain 2 and turn your work, you're literally just going to yarn over, go into that very first stitch, draw up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through all 3 of those loops. Yarn over, go into and around the stitch, draw up a loop. You'll have 3 on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 3. And then continue doing this until you get to the corner. Just like that. And then in the corner, we're going to do 2 half double crochets right into the corner there, a chain 2, and then 2 more half double crochets right into that corner. Just like that. And then every stitch in the round will get a front post half double crochet. Just like that. Okay, so continue on with that. Front post half double crochets, and then in the corner, 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets. Okay? Very easy, very simple. Just like this. Okay, so continue on with that, and I will see you at the end of the round. Okay friends, so I'm at the end of round number 35. I have 1 stitch left to work for a front post half double crochet. Just like that. And now what we want to do is we want to attach to the beginning of the round. So if you pinch where the chains are, you can see the head of the stitch right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip our crochet hook right into the very first stitch of the round. We're going to draw up a loop, and we're going to slip through there, just like that. And then we're going to chain 2. We're going to take our scissors, and we're going to cut a tail, just like that. And we're going to pull the hook away from our work. We're going to hold the top part of our yarn and slide our fingers down so that these 2 chains go right into our work, just like that. And then what we're going to do now is sew in our ends, and I will be right back with that. Okay, I am back with my needle. And so I just wanted to say that when you go to sew in your ends, make sure you sew it in on the side that you're on, because this is the back side. Okay, we did round 35 on the back side. So we're going to yarn over the eye of our needle, feed it through. And then since it's blue, I'm going to feed it into the blue so that it doesn't go over into any of the other colors. Just like that. Just back and forth a few times. I like to think of the letter Z. Zigzag. There we go. Just like that. Then we're going to trim off our tail. And that is it for round 35. We're going to flip this over and take a look at week 3. This looks so good. Let me back this up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so from this ridge to this ridge, these are all of the rounds for week 3. Absolutely phenomenal. It looks amazing. It lays flat. Everything is good. So let me just give you some stitch counts for this final row here. So for round 35, on the short side, I'm going to do this like I always do. Okay, on the short side here, you're going to need 126 stitches. And then on the long side, you're going to need 132 stitches, all of which will be in the description box for every round of everything here. It's looking phenomenal. Look at that. All the stitches for week 3 are right here. So we had the moss stitch, and then we did some double crochets, and then we did some V stitches. We went back to the double crochet just to keep our counts nice. And then we did 2 rounds of twins in a stitch. And then we finished off with a front post half double crochet on the back side to give us that really nice ridge to cap off week 3. So my friends, that is it for week 3. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notifications to stay updated with me and my channel. And until the next one, take care guys. Bye.